All right, welcome back. All right, guys, I've got a lot of non-financial advice for you, and I got to apologize for this picture. I know it says deep dive, but we're not going to do a deep dive. We're actually going to do a very shallow dive. We're going to shallow dive. We're going to dive into like a bird bath. I mean, like very shallow. You'd probably only want to do that if you were like, on Jackass or something. It's a terrible idea. Um, we're going to get into this project. I first have to apologize a little bit because I knew about a lot of these projects that I'm going to start talking about for a while now. I've known about them for a while, and I probably should have, because I've really removed my user base from the ability of getting in early, and I kind of did that just as a protection because I kind of felt bad. Like, I would feel bad if someone invested in something, even though this is not financial advice and this is just fun. And, it's like entertaining to listen to a guy talk on YouTube about stuff that doesn't matter, like this. However, I would still feel bad if you invested and you lost your money. I did a little review of an NFT project called Digital, and people didn't think that was like it was a good idea, and some, I a couple people went in on it that after they listened to me, and they did okay. I mean, they made like 91x. That's pretty good, And so, I mean, I don't always get it right, right? I don't always get it right, but in this case, I've got this one I want to talk to you about. It's called PowerCity. If you understand how immutable X works, then you'll completely understand this system. It goes a little bit further than what Immutable X does. Immutable X stays very centered around the NFT side. This one doesn't quite do that. It goes a little bit further than I actually think that. Well, we'll just get into it. So let's get to this. Yeah, this one. All right. So if you look at the top, it says click here, sacrificenow.io. We'll get into the sacrifice and what that exactly means. Um, if you've gotten involved in some of these projects by Richard Hart, I don't know if you know who he is, but he is the founder of Hex. It's a product that has been on the market for 2 years, and it has done 10,000x without staking. I think it's like 20,000x if you did stake. So that's a pretty good size X. If you like X's, some people just like 3X's, and that's your thing. If you like 3X, triple X, that's your thing. That's cool. Hey, it's all good. These projects just do a lot more. This one's not by this is not by Richard Hart, but it's gonna be running on Richard Hart's new blockchain, which is a fork of Ethereum. I know everybody forks Ethereum. It's nothing special. There are some special things about the way it's being forked. We'll get into that. We'll talk about that other chain, and it's not even launched yet. And neither is this. This is actually in the sacrifice phase. We'll talk about that in a minute. PowerCity is an ecosystem of projects designed to improve PulseChain, which is the chain we're going to talk about, for both the community and the developers alike, all connected through its central core. And that's kind of confusing. It talks about the core. The core is like the center of the project. So if you can kind of like figure, like, Power City is a actual city, right? The city's called Power City. And at the center of that city is the core, or the center of the city. And in this case, they're calling everything attached to the core is running on their token, which is Watt, right? Power City, Watt, like Ohm's law, E equals I over R. You know what I'm talking about? So, anyways, um, that's that's kind of what this. If you can kind of look at it from that perspective, very similar to what Immutable X is, and just like Immutable X has their token, and I think it's on sale right now for like 10%, or yeah, it's like 90% off right now. So if you wanted to go pick up some of those, it's a pretty good deal. Or you could pick up this one. It hasn't been launched yet, and it has a lot better tokenomics to it. It is inflationary, so you can stake it and earn more of them. And I don't really want to get into huge details on that, but I really do like a lot of the products that they are already. So they already have stuff that's being built. So it's not gonna launch like an immutable X, empty. It's going to be ready, and it's going to have things already built on it. And there's a few things I'm really excited about. We'll get to those. What is PowerCity? The kind of ecosystem you've been waiting for, all on one chain and interconnected. That's another really cool part, is that it's actually connecting other chains together, and we'll get into it. It gets really good. PowerCity Core. The PowerCity Core is where you can stake rebasing tokens to share revenue from all of the dApps that will be launched on the ecosystem. Yield earned by the treasury will be used to buy back and burn tokens. That's kind of cool. And we'll talk about that. So what does that mean, buy back and burn? So when there's a transaction that takes place, they will, it's kind of hard to say who they is, an entity, something will, for those fees, they will buy up the token, and then they are going to burn that token after it has been purchased. So it's a really powerful component. It's not just a burn token. It's not just a burn function. It's a buy the product, and then it's going to then take it and then burn it and get rid of it. So it's kind of inflationary and deflationary, because it's going to give you more of the tokens. It's going to earn more, and it's going to through staking you're going to get more of them. But as the people use the system, it's also burning them at the same time. So it's kind of interesting how that works. So other features will include protocol-owned liquidity, bonds as a service. That's a cool part. Third-party KYC, third-party audits. So they're going to get those things done. Time-locked team allocations, also really cool. So they're going to wait a long while before they take any funds. Transformer bridge is pretty cool. The PowerCity Transformer will be cross-chain swapping, PulseChain, Avalanche, Fantom, and more, while avoiding the exorbitant gas fees of Ethereum. Yeah, everybody hates gas fees from Ethereum. I don't know about you, but I can't stand them. So it's going to allow us to go cross-chain, which is awesome. The Pixel Park NFT marketplace is something I'm really interested in, because I really like NFTs. Perhaps we'll get into a video where we'll show some of what Pixel Park does and how it works, but that is pretty amazing. It allows you to basically, through OpenSea, you can build your own products, right? You can build your own NFTs with little pixel arts, and you can upload them and stuff. What Pixel Park gives you is the ability to create things in a more elaborate, like, designer scale. It's kind of incredible, to be totally honest. So Pixel Park is an NFT marketplace that will exist exclusively on PulseChain that allows users to create, purchase, stake, and trade NFTs. Pixel Park will also be playing an important role in many of the PowerCity protocols, as well as the Metaverse. I'm excited about that too. Play to earn ecosystem. So we'll get into that. I think it's going to get down here. So the NRG nodes. This is kind of a neat idea too. So it says nodes as a service and DeFi as a service hybrid protocol will sell node access to developers that require access to the blockchain data to build their new dApps. Node providers earn a basic yield while developers purchase only the node capacity their project requires. So developers, it's like building the way that developers can actually build on this thing without having to buy all of the unnecessary hardware, building up this massive amount of infrastructure just to get what they really want, which is just the data. Just give me the data. And so they can basically they can grab these nodes as a service. And what's really cool is these nodes as a service are actually being also created into NFTs. I don't think it goes into that, but it goes into that on the light paper if you read that, where you can take the node as a service as an NFT, and then you can stake it to earn more rewards. The system is just really, it's fantastic. It's really exciting. This is cool too. So now they're already building stuff that's going to be on the network on PulseChain. They're building dApps that can help the ecosystem. What I like is that they're not trying to compete with other components that are being built. The PulseChain is building like this huge ecosystem. And it's not going to launch, this new chain's not going to launch empty. It's going to launch with all of this type of stuff preloaded onto it and ready to rock and roll. It's going to go absolutely ape shit. I guarantee you that. So this is actually an accelerator, yield compounder. So basically, if you earn yield and then instead of not being able to just take your yield and then reinvest it and reinvest, this is a component that does it for them. And you can use it for any application, but in this case, they're using it for a product called liquid loans, which we'll also get into. Meta, so like the Metaverse. So we know a lot about that through, just most things that are out there right now. So everybody kind of understands that one. And this component is pretty impressive because it's going to allow basically users to be able to interact inside of the metaverse. They're going to be able to interact locally, internally. They're going to be able to have board meetings or they're going to hangouts with their friends, attend live concerts, experience education in a whole new way. I mean, so they're starting to build that side of things as well, which I think is really cool. And so it's just going to open up a range of things for the different possibilities. And so where I got some of these X's that you're looking at is I used other NFT just marketplaces, because this is a marketplace as well as all these other things. It's so much more than just an NFT marketplace. It's an entire ecosystem that's being built around a really, really inexpensive chain. To get an idea, you can do 7,400 transactions with one PLS. And when I bought PLS or PulseChain PLS, I bought it for 0.0001. So I got 10,000 for every dollar. Okay, so basically the bottom line is transactional fees are going to be a joke. I mean, it's going to be out of control. And so if you look at if you just look at peanuts for peanuts, you got other projects. I had them, but I actually deleted the file after I finished it, so I was kind of upset about that. But that's how things go. I looked at one NFT marketplace. It has like really bad volume. And if we were equivalent in the token supply that we have with this, you're looking at roughly a 74x, I think it was. And then ones with a higher flow of traffic, like OpenSea, you're looking at more like a 240x, because the supply is very limited. Even though it's inflationary, this sacrifice phase, after this is done, the only way for you to obtain more tokens is either to buy them on the open market. They're not going to just flood the market with more coins. There's not like an allocation of flooding them, or they'll create more through staking. So there's really only two ways to get them, is to sacrifice now or get them on the open market. And that's kind of impressive. And so you have a real possibility here to earn quite a bit. Let me get to the sacrifice. So what is the sacrifice? So sacrifice is basically you taking your coins and throwing them at something, a contract, and it says that you will potentially get a return on your coins. You'll get a return on what you've thrown out there, but they do it in a way so that you don't have to pay taxes, because I'm not a tax advisor, but if you get something for free and you give away something, it's like a donation, you technically don't have to pay taxes on that if it's not worth anything. And when this thing launches, it's not going to be worth anything because the chain's worth nothing when it launches. We'll talk about that in the future as well. So you have roughly 20 hours and 12 minutes and 42 seconds until it gets to the next day. The total sacrifice so far, people have basically given away $576,000. And that sounds like a lot, but it's really not for these sacrifices. I'll give you an idea. This one of the other projects that I did sacrifice into, and I went in pretty heavy, which was PulseX, which was their exchange, PulseChain's exchange. It had a total sacrifice of $44 billion. Billion dollars. So this is nothing. This is really nothing. And basically, the way they're doing it is you get 2 points for every $1. So right now, the current supply is about 1 million coins. I think at the end of this thing, it's probably going to be about 25 million coins is what the circulating supply will be. And so you can kind of do the math. If you know how many Immutable X has, I don't. You could read through this. This is sacrificenow.io. If you want to go through it, take a look at it. You kind of get an idea what a sacrifice looks like and how it works. You get points, and then depending on the day, you get 2 to 1. And then if it's past the 16th, if it's past the 16th, then you start getting 1.75 to 1. Yep, if you've donated, if you've sacrificed to these other products like PulseChain, PulseX, Liquid Loans, or Internet Money, you'll get more percentages on top. And you've pretty much missed. You have missed PulseChain and you have missed PulseX. Liquid Loans is still going on. Internet Money hasn't started yet. But I'm gonna go into all 4 of those because I really like these projects. And all of them center around basically a better ecosystem. That's what we're building here. We're building a better product other than Ethereum. I think that Ecomi and Omi did a great thing when they switched to Ethereum, and I have a really big conversation to talk about on that. But for now, this is a project that this is ground level. I mean, if nothing else, if you want to get a 10x, that I think you're going to do in the first day. So if you want a 10x, boom. Might as well take a sacrifice right now. You've got a little more time. You got till the 16th, and you'll get 2 to 1. You get a 10x. Not financial advice, but do what you want. I think this is going to be a really, really big player against Immutable X just because it's cross-chain. It's not just NFTs. It's an ecosystem. If you guys like what you see here, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Smash your phone. Like use a hammer to smash the like button. If you'll do that, that'd be really cool. And then take a screenshot of your smashed screen. Well, that won't work because it'll just be a screenshot, not the actual screen. Anyways, getting off topic here, guys. Have a great one. We'll talk again. Boop.